One of the most important things we know as parents is how our children look up to us and imitate us. If we take this point seriously, then we use this fact to improve ourselves and our manners, outlook, and way of speaking. And unfortunately, on the other hand, we can end up with children who will take after our bad habits and manners. The beauty of Lady Fatima Zahra's role as a mother lies in this very aspect. She was the epitome of patience and generosity, and instilled these values in her children simply by living according to these values in her everyday life. Being generous. We all know of the famous story of Lady Fatima Zahra giving whatever food the family had saved for iftar, breaking of the fast, to a poor and hungry man who came to the door. While we may think of always protecting our children from any hardships, Lady Fatima Zahra taught her children how to deal with life's hardships with grace and dignity in the path of submission to God's will. We should help our children learn to give to others with an open hand by emulating Lady Fatima Zahra. Like the Holy Quran says of Lady Fatima and her purified family, in chapter Al-Insan ayahs 7-9, they fulfill their vows and fear a day, the chastisement of which is widespread. And they feed, for the love of Allah, the indigent, the orphan, and the captive, saying, "We feed you for the sake of Allah alone. No reward do we desire from you, nor thanks." Selflessness. Lady Fatima would pray for her family and neighbors, and others first, before praying for herself. As parents, we tend to treat our children like they deserve only the best. And while they are deserving of our attention and love, we also have a duty to teach them that others also exist in this world, and to think of others and their needs. Children left to believe that the world solely revolves around them tend to become selfish and spoiled. Patience. It is no secret of the hardships that befell Lady Fatima during her life, especially after the martyrdom of the Holy Prophet. But she spoke up for the truth and always relied on Allah the Almighty for strength. Often we try to save our children from any problems and are always there to protect them and find a solution. But if children are left to learn from their own mistakes, especially as they reach the age of maturity, they will also become more confident in solving problems. A parent should be around to help guide a child, but leave the child alone to understand how to figure out a solution. Worship. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, said Lady Fatima Zahra, peace be upon her, was the best partner in helping him worship Allah. When our children see us praying or reading Quran, they should be drawn toward these acts of worship through a love of submitting to their Lord. Lady Fatima Zahra, through her dedicated worship, showed her children the importance of remembering Allah and relying on Him alone. As parents, our role is always to serve as a guide, but the parameters of how we guide will change throughout our children's lives. God willing, if we focus on the main point of teaching our children to serve Allah and please Him through our actions, then as our children get older, they will continue to follow this and return to it as their foundation. May Allah help us follow Lady Fatima Zahra as a role model for the ideal parent.